Well, you're here because you filled out a survey about a guy and he scored a C. In many important ways, this guy is falling short. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you, things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10 dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10 dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's much more likely to talk big than to deliver big results. He might start with a lot of excitement and confidence, telling people about his plans and ideas, but he will struggle to stick with the hard work that's needed to really move up in his career. Save your hopes for someone who matches their words with real action.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he's likely to react with strong frustration and may find it hard to keep his cool. Instead of quickly moving past setbacks, he might get angry, blame others, or become withdrawn and distant. You might see outbursts or sulking rather than quiet problem solving.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People at work might find him difficult to get along with. His way of speaking can be blunt or even rude at times, and he's quick to argue if he doesn't get his way. So, respect might be missing, and workplace friendships may not last long.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you shine in your own career, he might feel jealous or even threatened rather than quietly proud. On good days, he could act happy for you, but if he's having a tough time himself, he might show signs of irritation or make little comments that hurt. Be prepared. Loving him may mean having to handle some of his insecurities.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, there's a good chance he will feel uncomfortable or even resentful about it. Deep down, he may see your higher earnings as a blow to his pride, and you might notice this in snappy remarks or sudden mood swings. Even if he cares for you, his own doubts could get in the way and create tension.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He's not the best at managing money and is likely to spend without much planning. He can get drawn into impulse buys or spend on things that catch his fancy in the moment instead of thinking about savings or the future. Be clear about your expectations early on to avoid bigger problems later.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He may try to look more successful than he actually is. It's quite likely he'll spend on flashy things or fun outings to impress others, even if it stretches his pocket. This habit of showing off can lead to hidden money troubles.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is generous with his feelings and likes to share, both with his time and often with his money. He can be open hearted, ready to help friends or offer support when someone's in need. While he means well and can be loving, his lack of planning can leave both of you in tight spots.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He's not especially secretive or controlling about money, but he might be careless and not pay much attention to details. It's likely that he won't hide things from you, but he may forget to share important information or not bother tracking where the money goes. Rather than being possessive or strict, he's more easygoing, sometimes to the point of being a bit irresponsible.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He's not the type to strictly say housework is only your job, but he also isn't likely to step up and do it without being asked. He may avoid chores or leave things untidy, not out of stubbornness, but because it just isn't his focus. So while he isn't old fashioned about roles, don't expect him to take the lead. Be ready to set boundaries and be clear about what you need.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He may not take charge with chores or diapers and is likely to only step in when asked or reminded. Most of the time, he prefers talking and giving suggestions rather than jumping in and getting his hands dirty. It's important to be clear and ask for help directly with him.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He is more likely to argue to prove he's right than to truly listen and understand your side. In disagreements, he may get loud or stubborn, wanting to win the debate rather than calmly discussing both viewpoints. He might interrupt or dismiss your feelings if they clash with his own opinions.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he gets angry, he's likely to say hurtful things or raise his voice rather than staying calm and respectful. His temper can be sharp and he might make harsh comments that sting, even if he later regrets them. It's important to think about whether you're willing to manage someone who reacts so strongly when upset.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, he does get angry very quickly, and this isn't something you should ignore. Quick anger can mean shouting, harsh words, or even sudden mood changes that make you feel unsafe or stressed. Over time, living with someone who reacts this way can hurt your confidence and happiness.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it hard to say sorry and truly mean it. When things go wrong, he is more likely to point fingers or blame you than to own up to his mistakes. Admitting fault is not easy for him, so don't expect quick apologies or gentle words after a fight.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He may have trouble respecting your boundaries, especially if he feels strongly about what he wants. Sometimes he might push or argue instead of accepting your no right away. Remember, you have every right to set clear boundaries and expect them to be honored.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he is likely to take it personally when you're not in the mood for intimacy. If you say no, he may get upset, act distant, or make you feel guilty instead of giving you space and understanding. This is an important point to consider for your own happiness and well being.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
You need to be cautious here. He may not always treat your private moments with the care and respect they deserve. You deserve to feel safe and respected in both private and public moments.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is easily distracted by other women and may not be fully faithful in a relationship. His enthusiasm for excitement and new things can make him wander, even if he cares for you in some ways. You might notice him flirting, showing interest in others, or being unreliable when it comes to loyalty.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
Yes, he is quite likely to be over possessive, showing jealousy or trying to control where you go and who you talk to. He may often ask questions about your friends, get upset if you spend time with others, or even check your messages out of suspicion. Remember, love and respect mean trust, not control or constant doubt.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, for him, what he calls being protective often hides a controlling attitude. He may say he worries about your safety or wants the best for you, but in reality, he tries to manage where you go, who you meet, and even what you wear. True care means supporting your freedom, not limiting it.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He is likely to expect you to do most of the work when it comes to parenting. While he might join in for playtime or special occasions, he usually won't take the lead on daily tasks or share the load without your reminders. You may find yourself juggling most of the caregiving, discipline, and planning for the kids while he steps aside or just helps when it suits him.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he's likely to lose his temper instead of staying calm. He can react with sharp words, frustration, or even anger, especially if things don't go the way he expects. Rather than helping the kids calm down or work through their feelings, he might raise his voice or walk away, leaving you to handle the situation.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He may struggle to fully support your role as both a mother and your own person. While he can show affection and excitement in warm moments, his own insecurities and quick temper could get in the way. You could find yourself trying to balance everything alone and explaining your choices often.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, he is the kind of man who might cheer for your career at first, but later, especially after a child is born, could start expecting you to give it up or put it on the back burner. His support can shift depending on his own moods or sense of control, and he might pressure you to focus only on home and kids, even if he acted proud of your work earlier. If you feel your independence or choices are important, don't ignore this warning sign.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He may not go out of his way to truly connect with your parents. While he might act polite when needed, his effort could stop at basic manners instead of showing genuine warmth or care. There won't be much effort to build a deeper bond unless it's easy or benefits him in some way. He is more likely to expect your family to adjust to his ways rather than making an effort to fit into their routines or traditions.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he is likely to make things worse instead of handling it calmly. His quick temper and impatience can lead to heated arguments, sharp words, or even walking out of difficult situations. Your peace should come first. Don't ignore these signs if you want a smooth family life.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he's the kind of man who might act modern and easygoing with you in private, but expect you to become a traditional, supportive wife when his relatives are around. He could want you to dress, act, and behave in a way that pleases his extended family, even if that's not your usual style. This can make you feel like you're living two lives, free at home, but under pressure in front of others.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he is more likely to stay out of it or even quietly side with his family instead of standing up for you. He doesn't easily step into uncomfortable situations to defend your feelings, and you may find yourself alone when you need support the most. If he feels caught in the middle, he might become distant or act uninterested rather than helping to sort things out.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He is quite likely to be a mummy's boy, putting his mother's feelings and wishes before yours in most conflicts. If a disagreement comes up between you and his mother, don't expect him to stand firmly with you. This can leave you feeling unsupported and alone, especially during family issues.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, he is likely to share details of your fights and private matters with his mother or sister. This means your personal problems could quickly become family gossip or be used by them to judge or interfere. In a healthy relationship, you should feel safe to keep things between the two of you.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So that's the story. This guy scores a C. In many important ways, this guy is falling short of the standard we would want. Being in a relationship with this man can feel like living on a roller coaster, exciting and warm in the good moments, but stressful and draining when things go wrong. He brings bursts of fun, affection, and energy, but also sharp tempers, impatience, and little desire to share daily work or handle problems calmly.